Hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for another FIFA 19 career mode experiment, because today we are going to be testing what would happen if the entirety of the Premier League all retired at the same time. Just think about that happening in real life for a second. Imagine every single player in the entire Premier League was just like, nah, you know what, had enough with this football thing, I'm going to go play badminton instead, I don't know. Well, that is exactly what is happening today, because as we take over Arsenal, for some reason the entirety of the league has jumped ship. You can see Bern Leno's retiring, Matt Macy, David Ospina, Bellerin, Jenkinson, Jordi Osai Tutu, even he's retiring. And as you can see, the whole squad is gone at the end of the season. They're all hanging up their boots. But it's not just them either. The whole of the Premier League is doing the exact same thing. Even 17-year-old Timmy Abraham has had enough already before it's even really got started. And the rest as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold's had enough of Liverpool, he's done. Dele Alli's gone as well. And basically, we're going to test what happens over the course of about 4 or 5 seasons to the Premier League. Realistically, it should just be, to all intents and purposes, random players going everywhere, because if you don't know, regens are randomly allocated to a team in the league wherever they retired. We though are going to sim to the end of the season, no messing around here, and I'll show you how things end as a bit of a control variable so you can get a grasp of how maybe the league should look and then compare it to how it ends season 2. But if you're going to enjoy the video, slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Share this with your mates. Share this with your biology teacher, share it with your nan, because we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and it is so close now. I mean, this season was meant to show you how a league would normally end up, and it really hasn't done that, to be honest, because Spurs have won the league, Manchester City is second, United third, West Ham have finished fourth, ahead of Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal only in ninth, I don't know how he even kept the job, Fulham around at the top 10, then Brighton, Burnley, Watford, Wolves, Newcastle, Palace, Bournemouth, Huddersfield, Southampton, and Cardiff are relegated. So now we go into season 2, and this is where all the fun begins. Alright, so as expected, Arsenal have been utterly shafted, so we'll have to buy back some of the regens that we've lost to the free agents list in order to make this properly randomized. However, I want to take a look at the rest of the league. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be very difficult because I don't know who is a regen of who, because they're all retiring at the same time. It's actually really difficult to get a grip of who is who, if that makes sense. Now, it is going to take a little bit of time, to be honest with you, before I can really get a grasp of what's happened in this save, because obviously, I need to scout players, so I need to find out whose regen is where and who are the best regens. Once I've done that, I'll be able to show you who's gone where, and then we can take a look at how it affects the table. First of all, I need to buy back the players that were playing for Arsenal whose regens have gone into the free agents list, and that in itself is going to be a very difficult task. So season 1 of an effectively randomized Premier League has finished, and Everton have come out on top, and they've come out on top big time. Only one loss across the course of the season, 85 points accumulated. They dominated and won by 15 points over second place Chelsea. Really the only one of the big teams that have actually remained as a big team seemingly after this randomization. Third place are Wolves, Brighton up in the Champions League as well. Nottingham Forest and Villa, both promoted from the Championship, actually did well and did better than the majority of the Premier League sides. United 7th, then Burnley, Palace and Newcastle, so it's all over the place at the moment. We've only had two big teams actually. Leicester, Watford, City arrive in 13th, West Ham 14th, then Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs all in a row, and all only 1 point away from getting relegated. So Fulham, Derby County and Bournemouth that went down. Now, before I show you the players that I've scouted, these are the best players at our club. Sambi Lokonga is actually the regen for Eden Hazard. He was on the free agents list, and I just signed some random free agents, or pretty much all the free agents, because there weren't that many there, and he happened to be one of them. 4-star skill moves as well, and high attacking work rate, so not bad. We've got Gross here, who's an attacking mid from Germany. This is Mesut Ozil's regen, so he was playing for Arsenal anyway, which is why I was quite keen to bring him in. It makes sense. He's 75. Jazarevic is the regen of Sead Kolasinac, a Bosnian left-back, obviously. This Kasper Dolberg, Donny, is the regen of Andreas Christensen from Chelsea, but for some reason he was in the free agents as well. And no, I didn't get that wrong. His first name is actually Kasper on this. It's just spelt differently. And that'll be the same once I've worked out who everyone is on the actual transfer hub as well. But you can get a grip of some of the players, like, for example, Ali Eztolahi here is the regen of Jahanbash. Didier Boyogo Poco, who has perhaps the greatest name ever, is Gabonese and a striker. Very good potential, hence he is Aubameyang's regen region. I don't know how he ended up at Everton, though. Julian Duarte was on the free agents list. That is Davinson Sanchez's region from Colombia. Fode Kamara was another one on the free agents list, hence he got picked up by a non-English side. He is actually Naby Keita's region. Jonathan Rivero is the region for Lucas Torreira, Uruguayan. He plays over in Portugal. Franco Vuletic, that I assume is Otamendi, but he's very, very high rated to be Otamendi already. El Hadji Lecomte might well be the region of Hugo Lloris, but again, need to keep you all updated on that one. And as we scroll through some of the guys down at the bottom here, anyone else, I just haven't really worked out yet, because everybody's retired at the same time. Usually you can sort of decipher who a region is based on their age, but because everybody is the same, it's really challenging to actually understand and work out who everybody is. So I can confirm there's absolutely no pattern at all to this experiment, because Stoke City have now gone and won the league. They weren't even really involved in the randomization process even, but they've won the league by 1 point over Wolves. Everton, who won the league last year, have come third, and then Chelsea. So the traditional big teams doing a lot better this season. Crystal Palace, then Middlesbrough, Villa, Newcastle, Watford, Burnley, Brighton. Spurs relegated though, along with London rivals West Ham and then Sheffield Wednesday, who were promoted last season. First of all, here is our team. Sambi Lokonga even is still our best player, 81 rated Eden Hazard region. Woods, I've actually managed to work out, is the region of Angel Gomez, the Manchester United youngster, and alongside him is Loft, that is the region of Watford's Will Hughes. Now though, we're going to take a look at some of the best players in the league, and I've actually managed to work out who a lot of them are regens of. Doesn't take a genius to work out who Hervias Rubio is, Spanish goalkeeper who is already ridiculous at 21 years of age. It is David De Gea. Obviously, it could technically be Kepa Arrizabalaga actually, but I haven't found his region yet. Pierre-Michel Schutz, ironically, is playing for Manchester United. This is the region of Leroy Sané. Now, Salam Koko is a difficult one. This is either the region of N'Golo Kante or Paul Pogba. When I searched for both of them, hence, you know, French centre mids of the correct age, only this guy appeared. Yunus Drost is playing for Nottingham Forest. This is the region of Christian Eriksen. Mohamed Atwar, Egyptian right winger. No real surprise. It is obviously the King Mo Salah. And of course, why is he playing for Manchester City? Kevin Lapis is the region of Anthony Martial. He's left Manchester United and gone to Leicester. Sol Sears is in fact the region of Dele Alli. That's confirmed. He's playing for Stade de Reims over in France, because again, he was a free agent in the first season. Fraser McGlashlan, attacking mid from Burnley. Don't forget, youngsters are now involved in this as well. This is actually the region of Phil Foden from Manchester City. El Hadji Lecomte has left the English Premier League as the Hugo Lloris region, and now he plays for Las Palmas. Kylian Turpan is the Romelu Lukaku region, playing for Newcastle, whilst Alefe Martins Bueno is the region of Fernandinho. Donggun Kim is the region of Heung-min Son, playing for Fulham. Golsh Frigola is the region for Alvaro Morata, but finds himself over at Liverpool. Clayton Fabio Vergeton Dorozario, for some reason, swapped Manchester United in the search of Belgian football and has gone to Courtright. This is the region of Bobby Firmino. Tom James is the Ben Davies region, another player to leave England in the course of this season, and again has gone to Las Palmas. Federico Chavez was a Manchester City legend in a previous life, but he now finds himself at Manchester United, the Sergio Aguero's region. We've already talked about big old Didier Biogo Poco, and obviously looks extremely West African. Ben Jagna is the region of Callum Hudson-Odoi, playing for Crystal Palace. Paulo Sergio da Silva Afonso is the region of Ruben Neves, whilst Christopher Wilmots is either Toby Alderweireld or Jan Vertonghen. Unfortunately, they both have the same potential, so it's pretty much impossible to gauge which one is which. But yeah, it's quite cool to see how everyone is so randomized. We, though, are going to go to another season. We're going to skip ahead now to the end of season 4. We'll only do 2 more seasons, I reckon. I give up. So Manchester City have actually gone and won the league, interestingly enough, ahead of Stoke City this time, last year's victors. Wolves still doing bits up in the top 4, and Liverpool now up in the Champions League. Brighton 11th, Arsenal 12th. Down towards the bottom, though, Manchester United relegated once again, along with Middlesbrough and Derby County this time. But how have Manchester United gone down? This happens every time. They've got Leroy Sané's region in their team. Why are they so bad? And now, finally, for season number 5, you can see Chelsea have got back onto the top of the table. In fact, I say that, actually, I think it's the first time they've won it. They've been in the top 6 every single time. They've now finally won the league. Everton, the original winners, are 2nd. Wolves in 3rd, and then Leicester in P4. Liverpool 5th, then Stoke, Villa, and Manchester City. So the same sorts of clubs really in the top half of the table, same sorts of clubs in the middle of the table as well. Palace, Newcastle and Burnley have been mid-table the entirety of this one. Swansea, Spurs, Brighton, West Ham and Watford next up, with Wigan Athletic actually getting into the Premier League during the last season. Fulham go down and so do Arsenal. And if you're wondering about the Championship and where some of the other teams that have featured during the course of this experiment are, Manchester United were directly promoted again as champions along with Derby County in second place, while Southampton slipped quite a lot. They didn't really recover actually from going down the first time, and neither did Bournemouth. So we're now all the way into season number 8, and this is where we are going to end things. I'm just going to take you through really how the best players that we scouted, or that at least started in the Premier League and were regens from Premier League players, are looking now. So Ruben Hervias Rubio, the regen of David De Gea, 93 rated, playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers still. Pierre-Michel Schutz is still the regen, obviously, of Leroy Sané, and he's still playing for Manchester United. Salim Coco might actually be the regen of Paul Pogba now, because I don't think maybe Kante can grow to 91, but he's now playing for Real Madrid. Yunus Drost, again, that's Christian Eriksen's regen, still at Nottingham Forest, interestingly. Mohamed Atwar, I don't know where he was playing Mohamed Salah's regen, but he's not there anymore, obviously he's playing in Napoli now. Kevin Lapis is the Martial regen, still at Leicester. Fodi Kamano has been the journeyman of this. Every time I look at him, he's at a different club, but now he's at Hoffenheim as Keita's regen. Sol Sears, the regen of Dele Alli, still at Stade de Reims. Didier Bayogo Poco, the regen of Aubameyang, we love him, we love his name. Federico Chavez, the regen of Aguero, is now over at Lazio, whilst Fraser McLachlan has swapped to Burnley for Manchester City. Kylian Turpan, the regen of Lukaku, is now at Atletico Madrid, whilst Neves' regen is still at Brighton. The regen of Roberto Firmino is back at Manchester United, so I don't know if he was only on loan. Gregorio Fulch-Fragola, Morata's regen, is now at Sassuolo over in Italy, whilst Julian Duarte, the regen for Davinson Sanchez, is also in Italy, playing for Juventus. Jonathan Rivero, or Lucas Torreira in other words, is playing for Borussia Dortmund. The Fernandinho regen is now at Lyon. Ben Davies' regen now is at Paris Saint-Germain, whilst Franco Vuletic, the regen of Otamendi, is also at Juventus, like Davinson Sanchez's. Leconte, the regen of Lloris, is now at Roma, whilst Heung-min Son's baby, I guess, is over at Fulham still. De Sousa Pereira Jr. again is either Alisson or Ederson, but he's playing for Lille regardless. Brahim Diaz's regen here for 83 rated. We've got Oliveira de Freitas, that is the regen of Gabi Jesus, also playing for the same club. That though is going to wrap up today's video and today's experiment, and I hope you have enjoyed what on earth would happen when every single player in the Premier League retires at the same time. It's created some unreal results, I cannot lie to you. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel, still aiming for 100,000 subscribers before the end of the calendar year. And if you want, you can also follow me on social media too. My Twitter and Insta are at @theofficialfng, and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.